Hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to my shop. Today is January 5th and this is my weekly shop update. I have a bunch of stuff to go over today. I got actual typed up notes here to go off of. So let's just jump right in. So this past week, unfortunately, I was a little sick. I came down with a pretty bad cold Thursday, Friday, most of Saturday, so I didn't get a whole lot of things done this week. At least not as much as I had hoped I would have gotten done. But just because I was sick and wasn't out here in the shop doesn't mean my shop was sitting totally unused. On Friday, Dema from Dimkas Woodworx, he stopped by. He's been working on a new workbench for his shop. Similar to mine, it's basically a slab top made out of 2x6s. And he needed a quick way to joint and plane that bench top as well as create some Morrison tenons and cut those slabs to length. He's going to be doing an overview video of that bench build. Not so much step by step, but just kind of the highlights. And one of the things he did while he was here, which I kind of convinced him to do, was he attached his GoPro to the slab and ran it through the planer. So that was a really awesome shot. If you're not already subscribed to Dema's channel, I'll leave a link to that in the description. That's going to be a really awesome video when it comes out. So if you're not subscribed, head over there and subscribe so you can check that out when it comes out. You'll also be able to see him use my beam saw for the first time, which was very interesting in itself. So as far as my time in the shop, I continued working on the doors for the secretary. I got the panels cut, shaped, and fit into the door panels, into the door frames, I mean. And these are really simple door panels. There's not a whole lot here. They're just raised panels on the router, and then in the corners where the router would leave a rounded edge, I just came back with a chisel and some carving gouges and just kind of squared that up, just to make it look a little nicer. I also had to raise the back of the panel as well. I left my stock a little thicker. I didn't really, I didn't want to keep playing them down and losing all the thickness in these things, mostly because I had a book match and I just didn't want to waste any more material than I had to. So they're a little beefier than I kind of anticipated at first, but yeah, that's fine. And I also wanted to show, I showed a little bit last week with the frame construction and how it goes together. But here is a style, and you can see how that bead is part of the style itself. And then the rail, if I get this right, comes in like that. Hopefully. There we go. And the rail comes in like that. It's just a standard Morrison tenon, but it has that bead on there and it's mitered. So it's kind of a cool joint to make. But here is the other door, just to kind of get an idea of what the finished door will kind of look like. I need to finish tweaking the fit on this one a little bit, but there it is. There is a door panel, and this thing's kind of big. So I had a few people ask me what I did with these cracks here, and this is just epoxy. That's all it really is. It's just epoxy with a little bit of tint in it, just to be a little more reddish brown so it kind of matches the color of the wood. But that's kind of my style, I guess. I like to incorporate these larger defects into my pieces, just stabilizing them and incorporating them. Something like this would not be in this style of piece normally. You really wouldn't see a giant defect like this in a period piece. But that's just my way of putting my own spin on things, I guess. So I've been wanting to replace this bench behind me here because it really doesn't serve a very good purpose. It's a lot of wasted space and doesn't really have that great of storage options. What I want to do is build something with some drawers and then a doored cabinet for my electronics. And then over here would be like a desk area where there isn't really anything underneath it, so you can actually sit at it like a desk. I drew up some kind of plans this week, and I'll throw those up on the screen here. My editor will throw those up on the screen for you to take a look at. It's just me, I'm the editor. So I'd also like to do a little follow-up on the plane video I did last week with the Ask Matt. I wanted to touch on this plane here, which was the cheapy plane that I bought before I knew anything better. And I kind of bashed on it a little bit in the video, and I don't know, throughout, just like after I did that video, I'm like, maybe I'll go down to the shop and see if I can actually get it to cut, or cut well. And I sharpened the blade exactly the same as I would sharpen anything else. And, you know, I was able to get, you know, pretty decent shavings from it. But the problem with this thing is the adjustment mechanism is so finicky that it's really hard to keep that blade parallel and to set the protrusion of the blade exactly where you want it. That's really the problem I have with this plane now. It's just too hard to set. And the other thing that I noticed when I was working on it a little bit is that it is nowhere near flat. So if I take a straight edge and I put it on here, it is actually dished here, and it's dished in this direction as well. So this would need to be flattened before it would actually be able to be used as a real like flattening plane at all. If you were to use this like it is now, you would never be able to get anything flat or straight. You'd be planing a curve into everything that you do with this. Because if you were to start planing on the end of the board and come forward, the plane takes a deeper cut than when it comes up like this, and the back end starts lifting it out of the cut. And the same thing down here. Once the front end is off the board, it starts taking a deeper cut. So what that's going to do is create sort of a frown face effect on your board. It's going to be subtle, but it'll be there at least. So I guess sort of the same thing. You can definitely take a very fine cut with this just fine. It does need to be tuned up, probably the same as any classic antique plane. And because of the effort that goes into screwing this up and making it work as well as one of these planes, it's just easier just to go buy yourself a antique plane and restore that, because at least with this, you'll be able to use the nicer adjustment, which is the little wheel on the back to set the blade depth, and then the lever on the back here that sets the side-to-side motion of the blade to get it nice and parallel. I had a question from my Day in the Woods video yesterday, which was about box elder and how it looked, or what box elder looked like. So this here is a piece of box elder. I don't know if it's going to show up that well on the camera, but how about that? Maybe not. Oh, maybe. So you can see box elder has a lot of cool color to it. It has oranges and reds just streaking through it, and it's just some absolutely beautiful wood. It's definitely considered by a lot of people to be a junk wood, and I did think that too as well before I cut one myself. And this stuff is really cool. I've never built anything with it yet. I haven't really come up with a good project for it yet, but I have a whole bunch of it, and I know it's pretty cool. One project that I'd like to make with it someday is a new tool cabinet for all my tools, just because I love that color. It's really cool stuff. All right, how about some more questions? General questions that I've been getting. A lot of people have been asking me about the desk. Who's it for and where is it going? That is for us in our house. It's going up in our living room. A guy asked me last week, how many dings have I put in the desk now it's been sitting in here for like 2 years? And I'll show you a few pictures of those. Not as many as I had thought. There are a few small ones on both sides of the desk lid, but those will be easily fixed. Maybe a little water, maybe a little steam. Nothing too crazy. I had a really good question from Andrew Lucas. He asked about identifying trees out in the woods and if I had any good resources for that, and how did I learn to identify trees? Well, really for me it was being out there and doing it. I know that's kind of a bad answer, but really just getting out there and practicing. There's a lot of great websites out there where they'll actually walk you through the tree identifying process through like the buds and the leaves. That's definitely one way to do it if you have a leaf available. For me, I just kind of went out there and I did sort of that, but I also, I was cutting down trees, so I knew what stuff looked like. And especially cherry. Cherry for me now is just so, it's ubiquitous really, because I see it everywhere now that I know what it looks like. This is what a cherry tree looks like. Ugh. That's the bark. I can tell most trees around here just by the bark alone. And cherry for sure. This is what cherry looks like. Yeah, if you're really interested in learning more about the kind of trees around you, just go out in your yard. If you have no idea what kind of tree you have in your yard, start there. Just figure out what kind of tree that is, and maybe just kind of go from there. Expand your horizons, so to speak. So I have another sort of announcement, I guess, this week. Just something that I wanted to be upfront about and transparent about, I guess. Back in December, about mid-December, I actually was laid off from my job. So I am currently unemployed and I am looking for a new job. But between all the job hunting, the interviews, the follow-ups, the cover letters, and all that stuff, that's where I'm going to be spending a lot of my time working on this channel. That's why I think January is going to be a great month for the channel, because I have a lot more time to dedicate to making a lot more videos and producing a lot more content. So I'm really excited for that, especially. This is going to be the first real week where I get a real solid week to work on this stuff. So I have a lot of stuff coming up. Just to rattle off some upcoming content I have planned for the next few weeks. Air drying your own lumber, finally a shop tour, as well as a shop evolution, showing my old shops, getting into this shop and setting up this shop and all that fun stuff. I'm going to show how to make, or how I made this door, or these doors. Also one of the interior drawers for the secretary desk, making the capstones for outside on the patio, and of course more Ask Matt segments. Those are going to be great. I really like doing those. They're a lot of fun. I'm also working on a new website for the channel, as well as working on creating and releasing plans for the coffee table that I did in the summer, which I'm excited for as well. So thank you for sitting through all of this update today. As a reward, I am having a giveaway, so to speak. It's a reward. I have the offcuts from the top of the door panels. I have, I think I have another one somewhere, but these have this really nice crotch figure from the cherry, and I think they make nice pen blanks. So this is a giveaway open to anyone, anywhere in the world. Just all you have to do to enter is simply leave a comment just saying that you're interested in the pen blanks, I guess. That'll be a lot of fun. I haven't done that for a while. I did that with the coffee table. I think that's really cool, being able to send off a piece of my project to someone else to make something else out of. So really looking forward to giving that away next week. So yeah, just leave me a comment. Let me know you want it to be entered into the drawing. I'll pick a random winner next week. Oh, I got a haircut. Check it out. What do you think? Yeah, pretty cool, huh? The stylist gave me a little style too. Also, I'm wearing this sweet scarf that my wife got me for Christmas. I like it a lot. It is freezing here, so it's helped me stay somewhat warm. It didn't get above 0 today or yesterday. Oh, so cold. Anyway, thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about anything I talked about today, or anything here in my shop, like this tree I have sitting right here, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, what do I always say? Happy woodworking. Have a great week.